That was good. Pleasantly surprised. Hey, we are on, can you hear me okay? I can't hear me, so, yeah, good. We are on week 6 out of 8 on Running Partners, and today we're talking about trying it out. This is the week where heavy on application this week, so buckle up. It's going to be a good ride. Hardly any teaching, mostly application. We're going to be talking a little bit about, okay, so how are we going to actually apply this thing to our life? You know, not like other Sundays where we just come and don't listen, you know, whatever. But we're going to actually apply today and figure out, like, what are we going to do with this? Because it's a pretty crazy topic. So here it is, in case you are just kind of coming into the mix and saying, what are you talking about? Let me catch up to speed. Our number one initiative at K2 this year is to make sure that you've got a running partner, or at least are heading in that direction. What is that? A running partner is somebody who you're going to actually do life with. It's probably not going to be your spouse. It's going to be somebody of the same gender, somebody that maybe you're already in relationship with or in life with somehow. Maybe it's somebody you don't actually even know yet. But here's what I do know. I do know that life is just way too tough and way too hard to live on your own. There's a lot of Americans that are just living life on their own. And so this is our number one initiative as followers of Christ, to be in relationship with one another. God said, and I hope that you get tired of hearing this, Jesus said, all the scripture can be summed up in kind of two little phrases here, right? Love God and love people. Good. That's awesome. Every time we bring that up, it gets more and more of you that are recognizing that. Love God, love people. We have to be in relationship with the people that God made. So that's what this whole entire series is about. We've talked about the fact that we are designed for that. We're pre-wired for it. Dave talked a couple weeks ago about how to live in grace and truth, and that's just foundational to relationships. We talked about, Ryan actually talking about living in accountability and speaking into each other's life. And then we kind of talked about a couple of hurdles. What were they? Do you remember? 2 words. Well, the first one was fear, right? And you remember the black box? Oh, what's in your box? I've been having a lot of people talk about that. And by the way, you didn't know, but second service last time when I preached that, I opened it up and somebody put a pair of underwear in there. I know who you are. He's not giving me eye contact right now. He's looking around like, thanks, Steve. Appreciate that. Almost killed the whole thing. So we talked about fear and the fact that people might, if I get in a relationship, they might have to know what's in my life. Oh my goodness. Then we talked about another hurdle, and that was last week. It was busyness. Yeah, sometimes life is just so crazy. I don't have time for a relationship. Maybe you're there and you identified with that last week. But this week, we're actually going to pull the trigger and talk about how do I actually get a running partner? How do I find a running partner? So I'm telling you, in conversation with you, and even thinking about it myself, you know, several years ago, it's stressful to think about a running partner, right? Sort of feels like you're back in junior high again, doesn't it? Like, oh, it's like, what if they say no and I ask them, you know, and then it's awkward. Maybe I just give them a note with a yes or no, you know, check a box, and it just feels weird. Anybody feel weird about it? Yeah, suddenly I have to be in a relationship. The guy up front said I do. You know, what do? Do I give you my ring? You wear my jacket? You know, it just feels weird. And so hopefully today we're going to kind of demystify a little bit of that and talk about what it means to actually find a running partner and what kind of running partner you should be looking for. And that actually leads into the 2 questions that I've been being asked all throughout the series and even previous to that, and that is this. What should I be looking for? That's what we're going to talk about today. What should I be looking for in a running partner? All right, what do they look like? Who is this person? Second thing we're going to talk about today, in the second half of our time, is how do I find a running partner? So what should I be looking for? How do I find them? You know, where is he? Where are they located? Is there like an area of running partners at the dollar store? You know, where do I find these guys, these gals? So we're going to talk about that and give you some real practical ways on answering these 2 questions, all right? So I encourage you again, grab your program, and I'm going to give you about 5 qualities of somebody you need to look for and then a couple ideas on how to find a running partner. So grab your program and a pen and join me in some prayer. Let's pray. Jesus, I have been looking forward to this morning and really excited to see where you're going to take us this year. Man, I feel like this year just started, and here we are, almost halfway through, and got a lot of life left to live in this initiative. And I pray that as we consider running partners, that you would just spark some ideas in our heads, that you would show us those relationships that perhaps we already have, that you would give us a boldness and a courage to go forward. Give us wisdom as we think about who this person might be in our life to live with. And thank you, God, that you created us relationally. How fun that is. Created in your image relationally. And so, God, be glorified here. Direct us this morning as we take a look at your word. And help it to soak in, God. We pray these things in your name. Amen. Are you ready? I got a lot. I got 9 pages. Here we go. I just did one. All right, so what should we be looking for in a running partner? I'm going to give you 5 qualities of somebody that you should have your radar out for. All right, here's the first thing, and all of these things are actually found in the book of Proverbs, by the way. Solomon, wise guy, totally went through and he said, here's a bunch of things that you probably ought to look for with somebody you want to live life with. And so we're going to start in Proverbs chapter 17, verse 9. I'm going to hit these fairly quickly, and I'll just give you some key words here. Proverbs 17, verse 9 says this: He who covers over an offense promotes love, but whoever repeats the matter separates his close friends. You didn't see it up there, but that's all right. He who covers over an offense promotes love, is what the proverb says. In other words, how you can paraphrase that is that love happens, or a relationship happens, when a fault is forgiven. So here's the first quality of somebody you ought to be looking for in a running partner, and here it is. Look for someone who is considerate, and that's the key word. Somebody who's considerate of you. What do I mean by that? Somebody who actually accepts your warts and all, that knows you, that sees you, and says, okay, you're worth hanging out with. Somebody that will forgive your blunders. Isn't that nice to have a relationship like that? Somebody that knows you, that you can screw up with, and that doesn't kick you when you're down. Somebody who knows who you are, and here's the key thing: they still want to be your friend. Isn't that amazing? Doesn't that feel good to have somebody like that? Someone who's considerate. In other words, when they see what you do, they don't scatter. They don't run away. They don't tell you, oh, you're lame. You blew it. I told you so. You're stupid. Nothing like that. They are considerate of who you are. Love covers over your blunders. Love covers over your faults. They're considerate of your faults. And that's a running partner, someone who sees your weaknesses and failures, and they love you through it because they choose to overlook them, is what the proverb says. The Bible also says this: love forgets mistakes. Nagging about them parts the best of friends. Love forgets mistakes. Now, that's kind of hard to stomach, isn't it? That's hard. Not too long ago, we had a series that we talked about forgiveness, didn't we? It's a hot issue. But a true running partner, somebody who you're living life with, they will love you to death and look past your mistakes. So that's the first one. The first key word there is considerate. Somebody who is considerate of you. Let's go back to Proverbs. Proverbs chapter 11, verse 13. Here's what Solomon says, the second quality of a great running partner. A gossip betrays confidence, but a trustworthy man keeps a secret. Look for a running partner who's not only considerate, but look for a running partner who's confidential. This is huge. Somebody that totally will keep your secret. I'm so amazed at how people can't keep secrets anymore. Are you? I can't believe that. Seriously. Just the other day. By the way, you can tell people now we're pregnant. Beth is pregnant. I didn't know if you knew that. But just keep it in here, right? Yeah, sure. I'm amazed how people can't keep secrets anymore. No. But we hadn't told my... Oh, shoot. Okay. I hope my mom doesn't download the podcast. I just said it. I'm just kidding, Mom. It's just a joke. Actually, I'm waiting to hear from her because she was going to get a postcard in the mail yesterday with some pictures on it. Our kids are holding little bees, and it says Big Sister 2B, so we're going to see if we get a phone call today. But I told a friend down in Tucson, actually Beth did, she said, hey, we're pregnant, but don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody, okay? And then we got calls from like 2 people. They're like, we totally heard that you're having a baby. I'm like, who told you? I'm amazed how people can't keep a secret. It's like, she's just burning to tell somebody. When you're looking for a running partner, look for somebody who's considerate and someone who is also confidential. Proverbs, again, says gossip betrays friendship. It's so important. He mentions it later in Proverbs 16. It's not on the screen. Just listen here. Gossip separates close friendships. It's the quickest way to kill a friendship is to flap your lips. Or to have somebody you're in a relationship with just start blabbing. Look for somebody in your life who's confidential. Someone who can listen without the burning desire to blab. Here's a third thing that Solomon talks about. Proverbs chapter 27, verse 5 and 6. Third type of thing you need to look for. Better is open rebuke. Well, isn't that a fun word? Rebuke. Work that into a sentence this week. Hey, let's have some coffee. I just need to rebuke you. Better is open rebuke. That's what the word says, so let's have coffee. Than hidden love. Wounds from a friend can be trusted. Really? Yeah. Because the key there is friends. Somebody that loves you, who's in relationship with you. Open rebuke is good. Wounds from a friend can be trusted. Here's the key word. Considerate, confidential. Here's the next key word is look for a running partner who is candid. Somebody who's candid with you, that they'll tell you something about you, even though it might hurt, even though it's the truth, because they love you. They are candid. They're frank. They shoot straight with you. They're on the level. They're going to tell you the truth, even if it's painful. Proverbs chapter 24 says it this way, an honest answer is the sign of a true friendship. Think about the relationships in your life. Aren't the best relationships in your life the ones where you have a little bit of crisis? They really are. That's what allows a relationship to go even deeper. If I have the guts and the love for you to actually tell you the truth, that's awesome. That's awesome. Because only two things will happen if I tell you the truth. One, we're done. And you don't want to receive it. And it's like, hey, good having a relationship with you. On to the next guy. Or we come through that and the relationship deepens because of our love for each other. Because we're willing to speak truth. That's exactly what Dave was talking about. Grace and truth. A genuine friend is someone who can level with you. Someone who can say, man, you're making a big mistake. You are blowing it, but I love you and I need to tell you this. Proverbs chapter 11:14 goes on to say it this way. Where no wise guidance is, the people fall. But in the multitude of counselors, there is safety. In the multitude of counselors, there is safety. If you have somebody in your life that's willing to speak truth, it's amazing. So look for running partners who are considerate, who are confidential, or candid. Here's the fourth one that Solomon mentions in Proverbs chapter 27. Ryan spoke about this a couple weeks ago, verse 17. As iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another. Isn't that beautiful? The key word here would be look for a running partner who is constructive. Constructive. Man, don't you get gun shy sometimes when people say that? I've got some constructive criticism, like it makes it okay. Hey, it's constructive. Don't react to what I'm about ready to hit you with. All right? It's constructive. Well, I don't know. Let's hear it first and then we'll determine that. Right? But the word constructive literally means to build me up. Are you building me up? Are you sharpening me? Are you making me better? Are you helping me be the man I need to be? Are you helping me be the woman you need to be? Are you making me a person that's godly? Are you helping me? Are you stimulating me to grow, to bring out the best, to encourage me? Are you lifting me up? Are you motivating me? Because listen, I don't know about you, but I don't need people in my life who demotivate me. You? Anybody looking for that? Looking for a demotivator? There's enough criticism in this world already. There's enough demotivation happening in this world already, isn't there? I don't need more of that. I don't need people harping on me and putting me down and being critical of me. What I need in a running partner, what you need in a running partner is a cheerleader. Oh, do you have one of those in your life? Somebody who just cheerleads you. And you know they're a cheerleader because you actually want to hang out with them, right? You want to be with them. Sometimes I look at my life like a stovetop with burners on there, you know, and the relationships are really, really, really difficult that sap a lot of my time, or people that you spend time with, you come away, you're like, just shoot me, you know, they just drained me. I have nothing left, right? Those relationships go on the back burners. You know who go on the front burners in my life? People who I walk away with just going, oh, I should blow my nose. Man, I feel full. Man, that feels good. Man, I just want to hang out with you. That's the type of person you want. Somebody who's cheerleader. Somebody who's willing to give you constructive thoughts on your life. Somebody who's helping you grow in your life. To be your cheerleader, to build you up. And again, some people think it's their mission to pull you down in life. To be critical. I just need to tell you, so you heard it here. The gift of criticism is not a spiritual gift in the Bible. It's nowhere there. There's a lot of people that actually think they have that gift. Maybe it's not a gift, but a talent. I don't know. But it's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a cheerleader. 16 times in the book of Proverbs, by the way, Solomon says these are the type of people you need to look for. He mentions 16 different types of people. I'd like to challenge you, actually. Maybe if you're not doing anything in your Bible reading, if you haven't jumped in for a while, if you're looking for something new, read through Proverbs with a whole idea of saying, hey, what are the 16 types? Solomon, 16 types of people that will, pull me down. People that I should stray away from. 16 types of people that I don't want to be in a relationship with. Solomon, tell me who those are. I guarantee it'll be fascinating for you. He says, people that pull you down, they draw you away from the Lord, they kill your potential. So look for someone who's constructive. All right, so we got considerate. Look for someone who's confidential. Look for someone who's candid. Look for someone who's constructive in your life. Here's the fifth one, the last deal before we kind of turn a page here. What kind of running partner should I be looking for? Well, here Solomon says it in Proverbs 17:17. Here's the last deal. He says, a friend loves at all times. And here's the key. And a brother is born for adversity. Isn't that beautiful? Look for a running partner who is committed. Look for somebody who's going to be committed to you. Look at these words here. Because this is the characteristic of a true running partner. It's somebody that can be counted on. They're born of adversity. It's somebody that's dependable. They're willing to go through adversity with you. It's somebody that they're in your corner when you're cornered, right? It's somebody that believes in you, that's going to stand next to you. Born for adversity, meaning I'm going to be in your trench. I'm going to do life with you. I'm not going to go away. I'm going to run the extra mile. I'm going to do it with you. Listen, anybody in here, did anyone run this morning? That's kind of what I thought. Yeah. See, because I'm willing, most of you are like me. I like the idea of running. How many of you like the idea of running? Man, get all over that, buy new Nikes. Yeah, get some new apparel, pick out your route, MapQuest it. How many actually go out and do it? Shame on you. That's good. Good for you. It's all the healthy people are like, yeah, I did. I like the idea of running. I actually don't like running. I can talk good game. I get out there and there's cramps and I just don't like it. I just want to go home and lay down, just curl up, suck my thumb, do something other than run. And then you hit the wall. You know about the wall. It's huge. It's invisible. I hit it like at least by the end of my block. And it's the wall you got to push through to get around and get back to your driveway. It hurts. I don't like to run. I'm not into it. But a running partner is somebody who's going to love you at all times and run with you. It's so much easier to go on a run when you got a running partner, right? So much easier to go to the gym when you've got a workout partner. It's so much easier to do the tough things in your life when you have somebody who's committed with you to help you push through it. See, when I'm running by myself, I can tell you any mileage I want. I did 10 today. I was down at the corner at Starbucks. You right? Nobody knows it. But when I have a running partner who will push me and be committed to me, life gets better. A friend loves at all times. A running partner is with you. You just look at David and Jonathan, two guys in the Bible that I believe they were probably among the first running partners ever. Two guys that loved each other. They had every reason to be jealous of each other, right? Because Jonathan was in line to be king, wasn't he? He was in the lineage. He was going to be king when Saul died. But here's the deal. David was the guy that God picked to be the next king. Why should they be friends? Isn't there a song? Why should we be friends? And they were totally at odds with one another, but there was no jealousy there. There was not a hint of it. Why? Because as running partners, they were loving at all times. They were born for adversity. They were together. There's some other running partners in the Bible. Name it. David and Jonathan, and then there was also Paul and... Yeah? Barnabas? Good. Yeah, Paul had Barnabas. Name some other ones. Ruth and Naomi, running partners, all right? And for some of you that are not familiar with the Bible as much, the Lone Ranger and Tonto. See, everybody knew that one. Excellent. Here's another one for you. It takes you back to the 70s. Ponch and John. Chips, yeah, excellent. So, those aren't really actually found in the Bible. The point is, you need a running partner. You look at Jesus' life, Jesus even had running partners, didn't he? Right? He had the 12 guys he ran with, but He had the guys that he was close to. The night before he actually was crucified on the cross, he went to the garden. You remember that? And he asked 3 guys to go with him. 3 of his best friends, Peter, James, John, his inner circle. And he asked them to go, and he said, hey, listen, guys, I need you to be with me right now. See, I don't need your advice. I don't need you to, fix everything. He didn't sit down in the garden with him and just say, hey, I'm kind of running through some issues and some options. What do you think? He didn't do that. He just said, I need you to be with me. I need you to be committed to me. Jesus even needed that. See, those are 5 of the great qualities from Solomon that you need to look for in a running partner. Somebody who is totally considerate of you, that loves you. Somebody who is confidential, that you can trust. Oh, that's a huge one, isn't it? Why are we so scared of getting involved with running partners? Because somewhere along the line, somebody abused our trust, didn't we? We talked about that in the big box. If I get to know you, you're going to know what's in the box, and how do I know I can trust you? You need to look for someone who's confidential. Look for someone who's candid. In other words, I just don't want sugar-coated stuff all the time from you. If you're going to be my running partner, you've got to push me, which means you got to speak truth. This man over here, Dave, he's my running partner. Mike and Eric, these guys speak truth into my life. And I have an option. I can run. I can run away. Or I can know that they love me, and that's why they'll be candid with me. Considerate, confidential, candid, constructive. They're building me up. They're helping me grow. And committed. That's the type of person that you need to look for. Here's the second question. We're going to go through this. I want you to grab, you got little tiny pieces of paper there on your sheet. It's like a little tiny business card. We made these up for you because what I'd like you to do is throw this in your wallet, put it, in the vent in your car, and so you can see it on your dashboard, put it on a mirror, whatever it is. If you're kind of wondering, like, man, I don't have a running partner. Where am I going to find this guy? Where am I going to find this gal? Who are they? Yeah, okay, you've convinced me. I know I need one. Now I know what to look for, but where am I going to find one? And I want to take you to this card really quickly. Last night, though, I looked on Craigslist. Anybody frequent Craigslist? It's fantastic. Yeah, I had to get rid of something a couple weeks ago. It was like an old busted table I put on Craigslist. Within 5 minutes, there were like tons of people responding. It's just an amazing site. And so I went to Craigslist, and there's people looking for running partners, but actually real running partners, like actually running through Sugar House and that sort of deal. And so here are 2 of them for you. First one, this from last night. Here it is. So it's still available if you're interested. Looking for a good-looking girl to run with today. Interested in running along the Wasatch Mountain Trail somewhere. I'm a good-looking guy, but I get bored on my runs, so it'd be helpful to have something nice to inspire me. Are you interested? No, actually, I'm kind of creeped out. All right. Here's the next one. I thought this was kind of good. Hi, everyone! Exclamation point. God, it's excited. I'm looking for a running partner who wants to run slow. I'm not making this up. Around 11-minute pace for now, but I'm looking to get slightly faster. So it's kind of, I'm not even sure if it's running. It's probably more like walking. Anyways, some of you are feeling that way. Like, how am I going to get a running partner? We've joked about it on staff. Like, maybe we should do K2 eHarmony type thing, and hook you all together, or do like speed dating for running partners, whatever that looks like. But there's a problem. Anytime you start to program a deal like this, and it's not going to work. This is organic. This is how God created us to be. It's so something that we need to be aware of and be thinking and be alert to and intentional about doing. Real friendships, see, are not accidental. They are made. Real friendships are developed. They're planned out. They're thought about. They're cultivated. They're nurtured. And so I want to give you this little card to help you position yourself in such a way that you might be able to gain a running partner and be available and aware and intentional when one comes along. So take a look. Here it is. Don't you like this little acrostic? It's very nice. Easy for you to remember, perhaps. The first one is P, which stands for pray. If you're wondering, what is one quick, easy step that I can do right now to be involved in a relationship, a running partner, someone, you can pray. You can start by praying. And actually, that's probably one of the most important things that you can do off this whole entire deal. Is to spend time thinking about it, to go to God. Tell Him what you're looking for. Tell Him, maybe you're new here to K2. You don't know anybody. You know what? But God will hear you. This is God's design for you. God pre-wired you, right? To have these relationships. So go to Him. It's like, I don't know who this is. I don't know where I'm going to find Him. I don't know what this person looks like. I don't even have anybody like this in my life. God, would you
would you do a work in this area? Would you be working right now in somebody's heart, even before I know them? I think this is precious, but my mom, she prayed for my wife for years. Isn't that amazing? Wow, what a great legacy, isn't it? And then Beth, and now I'm a blessed man. Why? Because I landed the deal? Well, that's true, but no. No, because God brought her to me. And I believe through not only his idea, but the faithfulness of my mom just warring and praying. And now I'm doing that for my own kids. Praying. It's so amazing to know that our prayers are effective. If you're looking for a running mate, somebody who will run with you through this life, start with prayer. Here's the second deal. The O stands for on-ramps. All right, you think about a freeway and the on-ramp, and you get up speed and just move on and head into the right direction. Man, we're going to have lots of on-ramps here at K2 that you can take advantage of. Here's just a quick smattering of some. You know, the men's ministry is planning some great stuff and doing some camp out stuff that they've got in the future later on this summer and the fall that's going to be happening up in the mountains with skeet shooting and all kinds of fun stuff. And they also there's been a group of guys who've been racing go-karts on Saturday mornings and having a great time there, and men that are getting together and golfing and doing all kinds of stuff. If you're a guy and you're looking for a running partner, what an amazing place. What a great on-ramp to jump into. The women are doing the same thing. How many of, let me see a show of hands. Guys, don't raise your hand. Girls, how many of you ladies went to the fashion exchange recently? Steve, your hand's up. Put that down. Excellent. All right, so there was like 50 women that gathered here, and the whole purpose of that was to get to know each other. And maybe there would be some kind of connection where we can come together. Here's the next one, is small groups. Small groups is a fantastic way to get to know people. We have these things called Life Together guides, and you can still pick one up out at the information table. They're opportunities to get to know somebody at a deeper level. And some of it's interest-based. If I want to ride a mountain bike or go hiking with you or something like that. Another one is maybe just getting into the Word and doing some deep study on a topic that I want. If you're new here at K2, if you're looking for a running partner, I'm telling you, that's probably the number one best way outside of prayer to connect with somebody. The I stands for initiate a friendship. Maybe we just got to get a little courageous. This is scary. This one's scary. And just meet somebody new. That's one of the reasons why we do the meet and greet on Sunday morning. Now you guys aren't going to get into this amazing relationship right on row number 2, during meet and greet. Wow, that was like the best 5 minutes of my life. But maybe it would be a seed that's planted to initiate, to get to know somebody, and to plan something, to get involved with something. Hey, the T stands for taking an intentional step with a current friend. Now, see, I think this is genius. There are people in my life right now who I just kind of have on a certain level. Do you know what I'm talking about? And there are people all around me that actually love me that I've actually never even thought about, maybe. And perhaps you've got those guys too, those gals in your life. And maybe it's somebody right now that you already know that you needed to take an initial, intentional step with. And I need to tell you, as far as a running partner, maybe that person doesn't even go to K2, and that's totally fine. But somebody who will run with you and be involved in relationship with you. Hey, Shannon, Cindy, come on up. Here's the I that I want to take you through really quick. The I is invest through serving. You want to meet some new folks, potentially some running partners? There is actually, you guess, how many people do you think it takes to serve on Sunday morning at each service to make it happen? Any guesses out there? 25? Yeah, it's kind of around 100 when people show up. We're all here. It's like 100 people in place doing serving type activities to make K2 happen. Isn't that amazing? That's 100 people. And I think one of the greatest ways that you can invest in a running partner relationship is to actually serve, to be a part of the Connections team or the Arts team or Adventure Canyon or whatever it is, or maybe even going on a missions trip or down to Russia or Honduras or New Orleans or whatever it is to set up the tear down crew, whatever it might be. But what an amazing way to be involved in somebody's life, to get to know somebody, to gain a relationship. Hey, say hi. We said we weren't going to do that in the second service because it was cheesy, but anyways, it slipped through. So, hey, what's your story? How long have you guys been running partners?
We have been officially running together for about 6 months.
6 months. And how did that happen?
We just kind of met each other through volunteering, I guess, initially on the arts team, doing stuff on Sunday mornings, and then a little bit through like Space Between, our young adults group, and we just kind of started hanging out.
Okay, so Cindy, you were running camera, right, when on the arts team at first?
I directed
Or
a
directing
play
arts?
first and then
Okay.
started doing camera stuff.
And Shannon is our producer, and she makes things happen that produce, and that's what she does. It's much more complicated than that. I don't have time to explain it. But hey, what's really interesting is that the fact that they're both standing up here today is very ironic. We did not plan this, but you guys are both doing something today. What are you doing?
We're both producing today.
They're co-producing. So right now, there's nobody at the wheel. They're up here. Anything could happen. This building can implode right now. But what I really like is that not only are they running together in a relationship, but you guys are running together and serving as well. Hey, so tell me, why were you guys, why does this work? Why does this relationship work?
Well,
What connected you guys?
Cindy initially had asked me to do it, and we actually didn't even know each other super well when we first started kicking this off. But even initially, there was just a great connection. We met, and we just kind of hit it off instantly for me.
Yeah, in our few brief times that we had talked, there weren't a lot of them and they weren't very long, but there was just something that we always felt like we wanted to talk about more, but just never really had the opportunity to. And
Awesome.
yeah.
All right, hey, affirm these guys. Give them a hand. Thanks, guys. So you might be able to gain a friendship and go deeper in a relationship through serving. I love that. I love walking out into the lobby, and you see all those guys passing out your programs and your pins and driving recklessly on the golf carts and having fun like that. You know, have you ever noticed them? They're just getting involved in a relationship. They love each other. A lot of them didn't even know each other. It's a great way to get to know each other. Here's what the O is. The O stands for observe what works in others. Observe what works in others. And so you might know somebody right now who's having a running partner relationship, and you know that. Find out their story. That's kind of why we're bringing these people up here. Find out what works. How did they connect? You know, how did that happen? And observe what's going on. It's powerful. Hey, Steve, Andrew, come on up, guys. Here's the last one that I want to hit you with is the N. It's not super clever, but the N stands for now do it, right? It's easy to talk about running partners, but there comes a point in time where we can't just wait around and expect to be struck like lightning. We got to go out there and hunt it down and start tracking down this whole entire topic. Be brave. Explore some new friendships, some new relationships. So say hi to Andrew and Steve.
Howdy.
Oh, lame. All right. That was awesome. All right, so how long have you guys been running partners?
Couple months.
3 or 4. Yeah, 3 or 4.
3 or 4 months. But you guys actually had a friendship before that, right? How long?
Yeah, I had attended Steve's family small group with my family for a good year or so when we first got here.
Cool. And so how did this go down? I mean, how did this running partner relationship come out of that?
Well, you guys had been talking about it for a while, and I had been praying a little bit, and it came to me one night after a huddle. I just am curious about God. I have a real desire to know everything I can about Him, why there's Catholics and Protestants and Mennonites and whatever. And it dawned on me, the one person at K2 that can answer a lot of that stuff is Andy. And I wanted to get together with him, common interests.
That's awesome. Yeah, you guys, that's dead serious. You're running a small group right now on Catholicism, and you guys are always talking about doctrine and theology and words I don't even know how to pronounce. And so that's working for you guys. You guys are coming together on that.
Absolutely. He's wrong a lot of the time, but...
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't want to point that out, but that's very wise of you. All right, hey, affirm these guys. Okay, so that brings us to our end. Now, do it. I need to tell you, this may not happen overnight. At the second service, people may not know what hits them as you guys walk out. Don't ask them, hey, would you be my running partner? You may need to pray through this and think through this a little bit. It may take a year. It may take 2 years. This isn't something you can program. This isn't something we could just, match together and put on a flow chart and just randomly, come up with some kind of formula to make it happen. This is going to be a very organic deal that happens in your life. But you can start by taking one step, and that is just my only challenge for you today, is if you have not yet, take one step to start praying about it. And you might be uncomfortable with this deal, and that is okay. God knows what you need. God's going to walk with you on this deal. But here's what I do know. We cannot, hear me clearly on this, we cannot live life by ourselves. We weren't made that way. We weren't designed for it. And so would you take this piece of paper and put it someplace in the next couple weeks, months, whatever it might be, to start the process in your own life? I guarantee it'll be amazing.